Clothing photography is way harder than it actually should be, so this is my quick start guide for how to do it right. Step one is to get a photo backdrop. You want it to be either white or light gray. This one is gray. Use a picture hanger like this instead of just driving a nail straight into the wall. It can carry more weight. If you have a spot where you live where there's abundant natural light, use that because the photos are going to look better. But if you don't have an ideal setup, or if you want to take photos at night, get a pair of photo lights. These are ring lights, which are not necessary. They're a little bit more expensive. They're just a little bit more economical in terms of the space they take up. But you can use these cheaper box lights. These are called softboxes. You can get a pair of them for around $60 to $80 on Amazon. They work just fine. In terms of camera, I'll make it really easy. Skip the DSLR and go with a phone that lets you shoot photos in manual mode. iPhones don't let you do this. Samsung phones do. This is a Galaxy S9 Plus. I don't know if other Samsung phones all have that ability, but you can shoot in Pro mode, which lets you toggle all of the settings on the photo. It gives you a much higher quality photo when you know what you're doing than an iPhone would if you're just shooting in auto. And while the quality of photos on a DSLR might be equivalent or better, it's much less user-friendly and takes more time than on this, where you can just mess with the settings and see the results in real time right on the screen. So I got this one for $700 new. You can get them used for like $250. Again, this is the S9 Plus. There may be a more economical choice that will give you Pro mode on the camera. I don't know. I'm not a big gearhead. If your piece of clothing looks like this, steam it. When you're ready to start taking photos, make sure your overhead light is turned off while your photo lights are on. The overhead light is going to change the temperature, as it's called, of the light and make it warmer. You want the same temperature of light consistently on the garment. So I'm going to open up my phone. When I switch over to the camera, you'll notice it's taller than it is wide. That's bad. So eBay and Poshmark are automatically going to crop a photo into 1:1 aspect ratio. So if I was up close like this, it would potentially crop out part of the shirt. So I'm going to make sure I'm just shooting in 1:1 aspect ratio so I don't have to worry about that problem. So it's going to preserve the whole photo when I import it. So I'm in auto right now. I'm going to go over to Pro mode. And first thing that I'm going to do at the start of every photo session is go into white balance and set it manually. So hit white balance, set it. Now the color matching is going to be what it needs to be for this particular session. Now, ISO, which is this setting right here, I'm going to set all the way to 50. That's as low as it can go. I'm going to go to this, which is the f-stop, and use that to make the photo as bright as possible without blowing it out. And this will take some practice to know where that point is. I'm not using ISO to adjust the brightness. I'm using the f-stop. The higher you go, the brighter you go, means the steadier your hands have to be when you're taking the photo, because the aperture is going to be open for longer, which means if you move around even a little bit, it can make the photo blurry. Using this phone, it's actually not that big of a problem. I can get it all the way down to 1/20, 1/15, and it's not a significant problem. But if you have shaky hands, you might want to consider using a tripod. So that's about right. That's my first photo. When you move in closer to the garment to take detail photos like of the tags, there's going to be less light that's making its way into the camera, which means you're going to have to adjust this up a little bit more. And remember, the brighter this goes, the more likely it is that you're going to run into problems with blur. So take a breath if you have to, hold the camera steady, snap a photo. Maybe even zoom in like that. That's it. This is the best way that I found to take photos. It's not that hard. It doesn't take that much more time than just taking the photos in auto mode, and it produces much higher quality photos. If you do this, I would say your photos are going to be better quality than like 90-95% of the competition. And you don't have to rely on Photoshop or photo editing apps. You don't have to fool around with the toggles on the eBay photo thing. You don't have to use auto white background if you choose not to. And it makes a big difference in terms of sales. So I've used this on some older stuff that had bad photos, and it's already been selling. It's been stuff that's been sitting in my store for half a year to a year, and the second I uploaded better photos, they were out the door. So hope this helps, and good luck. Godspeed.